and the Marnoyer has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab for spell. Here's another shot. Right in front of score. Henderson has scored for Canada.
You went to the Brampton Steelheads game yesterday.
Yeah, I went to a game. I was just like, oh, check it out. They had like an MS awareness night, so I was like, oh, I'll get a chance to donate some money to charity and go check it out. Mm-hmm. First OHL game that I've ever been to. First like
that was the first game?
First ever game.
What? You'd be missing out, man.
Yeah. And
that's to a Brampton game?
Brampton game. I just something local, right? I didn't want to drive out too far, but good experience, honestly. And I think I saw a lot of kids there because I guess like a lot of minor teams get tickets for free and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But I think even for kids, like it's good because the biggest thing for kids is like they want to be on the jumbotron and stuff. They want to go like talk to the players and stuff. And it was funny, like when players went to the penalty box, the kids were just there and players were interacting well. And even the hockey was good. There was like 3 fights. I think 4 game 10-minute major game penalties.
Who were they playing against?
Yesterday they were playing the 6-7. The 6-7.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're playing the Ottawa 6-7s.
Okay.
Pretty good. They're in second place.
Brampton?
In the Eastern.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Not Brampton.
You're talking about the 67s. Okay.
Yeah. Brampton.
I have not kept up with the OHL as much as the previous years.
Yeah, no, I think Brampton when Martone left, I think after that. But the good thing is I think they have the second pick in next year's draft. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they get to pick up someone really good and make it more entertaining. I was actually surprised with the amount of people there. There was probably, I want to say, like maybe 500 people.
Yeah, but they need roughly 1,000.
Yeah. Probably a bit more than even 500.
Yeah.
But there was actually, like, I was surprised with the amount of people. I was surprised with the amount of, like, even, like, it was pretty multicultural, I guess, to say. Like, there wasn't only just, like, white people or Caucasians. You know what I mean? There was, like, there was a couple, mix. Like, Indians and stuff like that, which was kind of surprising, too.
Yeah.
No?
That's good. They're finally coming out then.
Yeah.
I've typically gone to Kitchener Rangers games, Guelph Storm. Surprisingly, I haven't gone to a game in Brampton before.
No,
on Barrie. I need to go check out London.
I want to watch Brantford.
Yeah, I was very close to going to Brantford.
Well, what's his name? Malhotra's kid's playing for them, so I want to watch them.
Right?
Yeah. So and he's supposed to be like top like 10 pick.
Yeah. How much money did you end up spending that yesterday?
So the tickets I got for free.
Okay.
Through like a charity, so we got tickets, but then we went there, we made donation because I got the tickets for free, and then bought like 4 beers. So like I was surprised. One thing that surprised, I thought the beers would be cheaper.
No, they're not.
It's only like $2 cheaper.
No, if that. I went to a Barrie game this year, and I remember it's like 2 beers, and they're spending almost $45-$50. I was like, this is nuts. Yeah. I'm not doing this again.
No. Yeah, it was they like got a popcorn. Popcorn was like $7 and it was like tiny, but
yeah. Honestly,
like it was very entertaining. It's a lot faster pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like kind of a little bit more end to end, which I liked, but it was a good game.
Nice. All right, last week we didn't end up doing the podcast. A lot, of course, the trade deadline happened. And I know some of the things that we're going to talk about is going to be maybe a little older, but I think we'll have some things that we could relate to today.
With what's happening now.
Yeah. So first thing, Kadri, he's finally gone. He finally left Calgary.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad because got some picks.
Yeah, he's gone to Colorado, and of course, in the first 3 games, he has 2 points. He's +3. But I think it's more to do with the interview. I believe it was the interview where he praised Craig Conroy. Mm-hmm. He was talking about the fact that he ended up going to the place he wanted to go, and Craig made it work. Of course, Craig Conroy, if you know about the end of his career, he was also a player who wanted to come back home, and he also got his wish fulfilled as well. So it's like a full circle back. Do you think that this actually makes a difference for other future players to come to Calgary as a destination, looking at the ownership and maybe even the management saying that these guys actually do care about the players, that we should go here?
Mm-hmm. I think it makes a big difference. Honestly, like when you have people like GMs and the organization that respects players and, wants to do the best for not only the team, but for the players' interests as well, I think it makes you want to go play for them, right? Like if things didn't work out or, like same thing with Mackenzie Weegar too, right? He waived his no trade similar situation, and I think he did it for the team more than himself, right?
Yeah.
And Calgary's pretty quiet destination too. Like, you know, if you want to go to like not like a busy city, but a kind of like quieter city too, I think it's kind of attractive, nice place to raise a family.
Yeah. I'm looking at this, and I'm looked at a lot of the other issues, all the other players. We could talk about Parayko. That was a good example. Players that have no movement clauses or anything. We've seen the other side to where they try to push players out to get what they can. And here, I think that a lot of players are going to look at this destination as, okay, if I get a no movement clause or no trade clause, they're actually going to respect me. So players could plan long term instead of looking at teams now like St. Louis. Maybe they only want to sign shorter term deals there and not long term deals if GMs don't respect you. I think in the long run, when a GM keeps doing it over and over again to certain players, positive or negative, it does make a difference. I don't think as fans, we don't see it because it's
There's
like
a lot
a
of stuff
trickle
behind
effect.
the door. Yeah.
Yeah. So like with Craig Conroy, we may not see Calgary as a final destination next year, but we may see it down the line.
You know, one thing that too I noticed about this trade too is it's not just one sided. Like the player got what he wanted, and Calgary also got a first, right?
Yeah.
And so like it's one of those situations where it kind of works out for both sides.
I think Calgary just didn't want to eat some cap. That's the only thing. They're forced to eat, I think, 20% of the cap.
Which isn't too bad. They have
It's not, but they're still with Kadri, what, 4 or 5 years left.
It's only a $7 million cap hit.
Yeah, but they're eating up what,
20%.
So it's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
For a team that wants to kind of turn it around. So,
but I think one thing about Calgary too is they can afford to take that cap hit now because they're a younger team, so they're gonna have a lot more, especially with a lot of players that are coming up. They're gonna be on their entry level deals. So
but maybe for the first year or two, or maybe even 3. But after that, it does kind of hurt you.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the only thing. I don't think they really wanted to, but they got it over with. And Kadri is happy where he went right off the bat, playing for
Who
Colorado.
wouldn't be happy? Who wouldn't be happy,
but right
right?
away he just found his magic.
Yep.
Right, he scored that nice tip goal.
It also helps too. He went to a team where he's played before, right?
Yeah,
and
they know exactly what they're going to get out of him.
That's right.
So it was awesome. I don't know. It was the best place for him for sure. And I think because now Kadri's gone to Colorado, I think that gives Colorado a very big push. Now they got that second line center. I know you have Brock Nelson too and everything, and I know they're going to move the guys around, but it's great to have that depth down the middle. So
especially centers, right? Centers, you can always put a center on a wing. You can't put a winger on center, right? Do you think it's more so that players would want to go play for a certain GM or coach, or do you think it's they want to go play for the city? Let's say Craig Conroy goes to another city. Do you think that players will rotate and be like, hey, I want to go play for Craig Conroy? Or
I think if the players are already locked into Calgary, they're not going to run away. It's not. I don't think that's how it works. But I think it's more to do with new free agents. They may look at Craig Conroy and say that we like this guy. He treats his players well, and I want to sign that. Like I don't think it may give a certain edge.
I think it hurts teams. Like you see what happened with Parayko. Like they tried shipping him off, and he said no. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
within his rights, right?
We could just flat out talk about Parayko too. With Parayko, like he said that, you know, I get it with Buffalo, and they're finally making the first round, but he's made his life in St. Louis, and he doesn't want to let go. And of course, somebody let go. Somebody told the media that he was getting traded, and he didn't want to waive his no trade clause, trying to make him look like the villain. So it clearly came from the St. Louis side. Somebody in that room.
Yeah. Well, you know, one thing too is like, if you don't want this to happen, don't give out no trade clauses, right?
No, it's because GMs want to save that $1 million, $2 million, and then when it doesn't really work for them, they'll rather
get rid
do
of
this, which is a pretty slimy move.
No, it's like kind of like a stab in the back, right?
It is,
because like it's tough on players too. Like you establish yourself, and you can't just be moving around. Like when do you get a chance to settle down and like you know what I mean? Like it's. Yeah. Imagine like having to uproot your kids and move around and stuff. And like
he
that
said
too,
it
right?
too. He's built his life here.
Yeah.
He's been here for so many years, so he doesn't want to move, and that's a respectful thing. But what the management try to do with the news spilling out and whatnot, I just thought that
try and manipulate it, put it on the player.
Yeah, and that's gonna hurt them in the long run because when players do see that, they're like, "What's the point of getting a no trade clause here in St. Louis with this general manager
Yeah.
You know, with Armstrong, if this is what's going to happen. So no, I don't want to sign here. I don't trust you guys. I don't want a no trade clause. Just give me more money. That will happen. That kind of relationship does hurt. It benefits and hurts you depending on what side of the spectrum you're on as a general manager, right? What kind of reputation you have built with players and the fans. So
I had a question for you too. It's not on our like talking points, but like out of the we're talking about deadlines, so it'll be quick. But what team has the best grade, or like what team do you think did the best
trades?
Yeah, out of the trades, like it could be like on a rebuilding side where a team just acquired a bunch of picks and offloaded some veteran players, or on the other side where a team like you think they made a bunch of moves that really helped them out.
I think the Ducks with the John Carlson trade. I think that was a good move for them, for the Ducks to build that, to get that defenseman. I know he's older, but he does have that leadership in the back end, and he's been killing it too this year. He's like 45 points in like 55 games or something.
Any trades you like that kind of like shocked you? Or
it was a John Carlson trade.
John Carlson.
Everything for me this trade deadline was everything to do John Carlson. When I saw John Carlson just getting traded, and it was happened overnight, I looked at it in the morning, and I just stared at my phone. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, this guy is part of that core. He's one of the identities for Washington Capitals, and then he's just gone. And then you could even see with Tom Wilson, with Ovechkin, all these players that came out and said their responses to the trade. It was like heartbreaking.
Worst day in his career.
Yeah, worst day in his career, which is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you already asked me this question, so I'll just take it there.
Yeah.
With the Washington Capitals, with John Carlson getting traded, and then, you know, with Wilson now is going to have to be one of the front leaders. What identity do you see with the Washington Capitals, and do you see Ovechkin maybe retiring by the end of the year with his comments?
I still don't think he retires. I think he's
you don't
still.
think so?
I think because he still has one more year left, right?
No.
Oh, he's
This is UFA year.
Okay.
This is last year.
I don't know. Maybe he resigns. Maybe he does the LeBron and just does re-ups every year for one.
I think it's over, man.
Think so.
I think it's done. I've been watching the last few games with Ovechkin too. He just doesn't, like, he's completely stopped skating. You could tell it's taking a toll on his body. And he came with those comments too, where he said that he doesn't want to be barely walking in 2 years. John Carlson leaving, I think that kind of, for me, that solidified.
Because you know what it is too, with him leaving too, it kind of puts a nail in the coffin that they're not going to be competing for a playoff spot this year.
It's
right?
weird because Washington was still 4 points out.
They're still in it.
Right? And of course, they haven't been playing well. They were on a losing streak. I think they lost 6 out of the last 10. But
still, like, you know, you get in the playoffs, like, all you need to do is just get in, right?
Yeah. But the East is so tight. But yeah, that trade just put the nail in the coffin for me with the Washington Capitol. I think Ovechkin's retiring. I think it's happening. I think that's the reason why there were rumors going on that he's going to go play in Russia. I think he's leaving. I wasn't, I remember we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, no, maybe he's going to play for another year. And I think he's done. I think I'm pretty convinced.
Well, the way he was like talking about it in the post press interview, or like the next day when the trade happened, it looks like, yeah. You know,
I think the ownership already knows this, and the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs, and they were pretty convinced they're not going to make the playoffs, so might as well start planning for the future. And I think Ovechkin most likely knew that as well. We're going to go watch Ovechkin this year. We have to, man.
Yeah, no,
right?
I know.
We have to, because I know he's gone. I'm very convinced that Ovechkin is going to retire end of this year.
The crazy thing, too, is like the Washington-Pittsburgh games, if he does retire, it's not going to be the same no more, right?
Yeah. Like
all that history and stuff, and it's crazy. And even so, I think this, like, as he speaks even more about Crosby, that Crosby's playing longer than...
No, Crosby's... I think Ovechkin's older.
But just by a year, right? Isn't it?
No.
Because he got drafted the year after.
Yeah, but I think he's almost 2 years. It's like a year and a half-ish. But trust me, Ovechkin... I mean, when Ovechkin started slowing down too, it started happening in the last year. So even though he scored, 44 goals last year? But it's not even about the goals. He's just not mobile. He's not as impactful.
Do you think he wants to like still stick around, maybe trying to hit 1,000 goals?
No.
I
think after that comments that he came out with saying, where he said that he doesn't.
What happens if in the offseason, like the Washington just lets him go and says, hey, like, we want you to go on, like, you know, try and win one more. Maybe he signs with, like, let's say like a Tampa or something.
No, he's not signing nowhere.
You think he's gonna retire as a Capital?
I will say it's absolutely 0% he signs anywhere.
Okay,
he's retiring as a Cap.
Okay, So he's not. There's no chance
No.
he's gonna go on like.
Or else he would have just went on trade deadline. No. Listen, that's just so bizarre. He's not leaving.
Mhm.
Dude. That's the day that Ovechkin just ends up going and signing somewhere else. I would just be like, flip the desk.
I think
I'll lose my shit.
I think he wants to. I think he wants to play in Russia. Like
That's what I'm saying. That's the best case scenario in this situation for us to watch hockey. What's going on with me today? I could barely talk.
Mhm.
I think the best case scenario for hockey fans is that he's gonna go and play in Russia next year.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is he just retires this end of this year.
Does he spend his off seasons here? Or he goes back home.
Or back
home, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he gets like a deal or something like where he gets.
No, he already. Remember we talked about this.
Oh, does he
2
already
weeks
own a
ago.
team?
No, he's gonna go play back with Dynamo.
Dynamo. Okay.
He was talking about it with them. I'm not sure if he actually accepted or anything. What's gonna happen? Or they're gonna once the contract is over with the Washington Capitals, that's the time when he announces it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very convinced that this is it. John Carlson leaving, I think, was a nail in the coffin.
Well, it kind of signals their intent, right? That hey, like especially even John Carlson, he's an older player.
Yeah.
Right. So like you're kind of
35.
Yeah. So you're kind of moving out of that window of competing and maybe start more so into a rebuild, right?
Well, I don't think they're gonna rebuild. I don't think they're not bad enough to rebuild. They got some
Just
good
retool?
pieces. They need a number one center. I like Dylan Strome, but I think they need a number one center. Once they do that, then I think they're gonna be back to being competitive. That's what they're missing in my eyes. Anyways, let's move on to Sherwood. I know we saw the extension that happened, but 2-3 weeks ago, 5 years, $5.75 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you look at this contract, and what do you have any comparables of what it's going to look like in a few years?
So I know it hasn't happened yet, but the player that I was thinking like most likely comparable to this was McMahon. Honestly, like I think like in terms of like value to a team, like I'm thinking like third line center or third line player that could also play on second line if you need, right? That's what I was looking at. I'm like, oh, Bobby McMahon does kind of the same thing for you. I know it's not what he has right now, but when he was a Leaf, that's what he was talking about re-signing for, around that $5 million mark. So that's like my closest comparable, and also two players that kind of got traded around the trade deadline around the same time too.
My two players are either, I think on the upside he could be a Zach Hyman.
Okay.
I think he's gonna live up to his contract and beyond.
That's what I was gonna say. I think value wise, I think it was really good. Like because $5 million is gonna be like it's gonna be like the next like $3 million in the next couple of years with the cap going up and stuff.
And the other side, it could be Connor Garland, which is also
that's a good one too.
Great feisty player as well. I like Garland, and Sherwood's that kind of guy. He does everything.
Mm-hmm.
So San Jose got a really good character piece, and I think it's a
two-way player too.
Yes, and you need those kind of players with your other youth, and I think they have a really good core going on, and they're just putting pieces together. But San Jose is looking great. They're right now, I think they're 2 points out of the playoff spot. I think 2 or 3 points, and LA is that I believe LA is on the 8th spot. I think San Jose could take them, even though LA is being on fire. But I'm hoping San Jose could make the 8th spot because whoever they play against, they're gonna give them a run for money,
especially because they have so many legs, right? Like
yeah.
And I think that they're gonna beat a lot of teams give a lot of teams problems with their speed and stuff. Yeah.
Buffalo has been on absolute fire.
Yeah.
Absolute fire, man, since December, right?
Considering like I know it's like funny, like first episode this year we were talking about Buffalo.
It wasn't even the first episode. This was in I believe it was the end of November. We had those lights on. Remember they're flickering?
Oh, flickering.
Yeah,
I
think it's the ghosts of Buffalo. They're haunting us. And I was talking about how they need to burn down that arena.
No. Well,
start from scratch.
Like I that's what I was looking at. I was looking at their team. I'm like, this team is too good to not make the playoffs, right? And like they're I don't know if they're just going above and beyond, but like for me, that team, I see them. You look at their players and stuff, and it was they look like a playoff team, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've been the hottest team right now in the entire league. So my question to you is, you see them right now. They're second in the division, right? Where do you see them finishing by the end of the year, and how far do you think if they make the playoffs? So you got to tell me if they make the playoffs.
Oh,
of course they are. But how far do you see them making it in the playoffs?
Going out of I think they'll make it out of the first. Why? Because they're on like a tear right now. I think they carry that into the first, and then I think where the experience part's gonna affect them is that second round, because they might get tired out in the first, and then going into the second round, it's kind of where, like, are you still going to be hot? Like, will you still have that going to, and you're going to be playing teams that have probably been there. You're probably either going to get a Tampa Bay, or you might get maybe a Montreal or something that's kind of been there, right? So maybe speaking like about second round is what I'm guessing.
So you think second round?
Second round.
Just fall off?
Yeah.
Because right now they're second in the division, so the higher chance for them, they're most likely gonna play Tampa in the first round. For me, it's just with Buffalo's, it's gonna be goaltending. That's where it's going to be the X factor. I don't, even though as much as hot as they are right now, I don't think they're gonna make it past the first.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you can ride a hot streak
if
out of the first.
If they play against Montreal, I think that's a different story. Even though I like Montreal, but I think Montreal's goaltending has been an issue.
Shaky, yeah.
It's been very shaky. And I think Buffalo, what they have done in the back end, their defense looks better. So if Buffalo plays against Montreal, then yeah, I could see Buffalo getting up. But I think Tampa's going to be a problem either way for either of those teams. So they have to play one or the other. Whoever plays Tampa, I think.
Well,
Tampa's
even Buffalo, like imagine they get a New York, right? Like Islanders team or something like that. Even I think they'll give them trouble in the first. Right, but I think honestly, I think they'll.
Well, the only way they're gonna be there if they're in the wild card spot. If they're playing against,
I like Detroit.
Good. Detroit's good, but Detroit has to have Larkin back. I know they're missing Andrew Kopp as well. But if they're back, it's gonna be a great series.
I think so
it's gonna be neck to neck,
and they're so close in proximity too, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have like a lot of banter going on between the two cities.
It's hard to tell, but I think whatever team comes out of the Atlantic is gonna be crawling with just injuries.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a bloodbath before they even make it to the Metropolitan. So, yeah, I think I still have them. If they're playing Montreal, I would say maybe the first round. If they're playing Detroit, I still think they could maybe go to Game 7, beat them. Second round's going to be, that's what I know. Second round's going to be tough. I don't think they're going to
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like the Leafs, I want to say too, right? Like, you know, you carry your hotness coming out of the first or into the first, and then where you're gonna really struggle is
you
when
still need elite goaltending. Like not even elite goal, you need a hot goaltender. And I don't know if Buffalo is really gonna have that going in.
Like one thing that they do have is their scoring.
Yeah,
and I think they have.
But you can't score 5 goals a game.
No, but I think
like that's what they're doing. They're scoring like 5-1, 5-2. They're beating every team.
But the thing is too, the one thing that really I think Buffalo's really strong in terms like where their strength is in their decor. I think they have a lot of really good, and they're deep too. It's not like they're deep.
But you gotta be able to win those 1-0, 2-1 games. Yeah, you're scoring 5 goals and you're only allowing 1 or 2.
Well,
which is great.
even in the playoffs too, like those are types of games you're gonna get
the games
to
are gonna
1-0.
be open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be very tight.
Yeah.
So for them to just make the playoffs and just have the experience, I think that's a big thing. And then whatever momentum takes you as far as it does is great. It's a learning curve. But I mean, I would be completely surprised if they go to the semifinals and end up beating maybe Carolina.
Maybe the Cinderella team,
right? That'll be a Cinderella story because you look at them where they were early December and where they are now. It's impressive. It's good, man. Honestly, you're seeing the Buffalo Sabres fans too, all riled up and everything. Yeah, man. City's alive.
I was gonna say it's nice when your team hasn't made it in like how long, 13 or so years.